So I want to talk a little bit today about autism spectrum disorders, and in particular, a criteria and a symptom that's often associated with autism spectrum disorders. I was in neuropsychology for a number of years of my life, and was so intensely devoted to it, and I still love to nerd out and talk about what's happening in the brain, and how these behavioral symptoms and manifestations are actually a reflection of what is happening with the organization of the brain and the connectivity of the brain, specifically in autism spectrum disorders. So what we oftentimes see in the autism spectrum brain is we do see that there is a hyperconnectivity between these cells. So I want you to think about this. So oftentimes with autism spectrum, a really clear-cut example that you might think of is if they hear a noise, it's experienced as louder to the autistic kiddo or person, right? They might be hypersensitive to certain tastes or flavors. They might be hypersensitive to certain textures, to zippers, to buttons. They experience the sensory components of their life as being amplified, larger, more distracting, right? And so what's actually happening is they through the hyperconnectivity in the brain, and then the disconnectivity with other brain areas that are associated with how do we address what's happening in a sensory way, right? They're receiving an abundance of information, and their brain is not organized in such a way where they can handle it and filter it as effectively as a neurotypical individual. So I want you to think about this. If somebody that you are, is a loved one, is a child, is a friend who identifies as somebody who is on the autism spectrum, then I want you to think about that. And if they have these sensory components, I want you to know that you can alter the amount of sound coming from the environment, the amount of light. They may feel comfortable just eating certain things, but really know that this is not a behavioral manifestation. This is not oftentimes a choice. It is literally something in how they experience it in their skin, in their brain on a cellular level, where they're just receiving abundance more information. I hope that this is really helpful and impactful. I've had so many parents ask me about the neurology underlying, the autism spectrum stuff. What is literally happening? Why is this behavior manifesting the way it does? What are the physical and scientific support for this? So I really hope that this was a really incredible bit of learning for everybody. You guys, ask me questions. Feel free to write me or set up a free consultation if you have a loved one or a kiddo that is on the autism spectrum and you just have more questions and you just want to talk through it, and also talk about ways that we can input some learning and some strategies to help them. Even if we don't end up working together individually, I would love the opportunity to help and support. This is a population that is so near and dear to my heart. I adore them. Okay, again, Dr. Natalie Bruton here, and you can find me at TLC with Doc B. Bye, guys.